Welcome back to the show. We are now joined by sprinters Dan Benton and by Kabba. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Dan, let's start with you. You were one of the guys that broke a record, on Saturday, setting a facility record in the 200 individual race. Talk about that race. What was it like going into that?
I knew I had to get a time for conference, so we just decided just to run it, just so I'd be able to be like in heat 1 and run against the top guys. And my head wasn't really in it, just because I was just trying to run for a time. But I was told before the race that there was going to be some good competition, and they got me really psyched up, and I ran it as hard as I could, and it turned out pretty well. And
that competition was from Wisconsin Whitewater.
Yeah.
You guys were neck and neck around the turn, and you just sort of had that second burst of energy in that final straightaway.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a freshman from Whitewater. He's a good kid. I talked to him before the race, and I didn't expect that kind of speed to be coming out of that kid. He was really fast, surprisingly.
It pushed you harder, didn't it?
Yes, a lot, yeah.
And then you joined by Kabba and two other of your teammates in the 4x4, and you guys, shattered the facility record by almost 3 seconds, and you guys have the fastest time in the nation now in the 4x4. By Kabba, you led off that race. That was the only event you ran in the day. What was the strategy going in?
I really just wanted to. We don't have John Howard for indoor season. He'll be running with us outdoor season. And the nice thing is that when we had him, John was really good at getting out, getting to the break, and kind of avoiding all that traffic. So I wanted to see if I could mimic that and replace him for indoor season. And that's basically what I tried to do. John's been helping me working on getting out in practice. We talk about getting out and kind of clearing the path for yourself to get to the break. And I just knew that. We have Deontay and Mustafa and Dan, and so I know if I can get out and get them a lead, it's game over from there. So I just really focused on trying to get them a good lead and getting to the break, because I know once we get to conference meet and national meet, there'll be a little more traffic and definitely a lot more competition than there was this past weekend.
And Coach, that was not only a facility record, but very close to a school record. Am I right?
Yes, I think 1992 a foursome ran a 3:16.1 hand time, so we'll have to convert that to FAT, and they'll get another chance at that. But it's good to get the mark early, and even though there are no qualifying standards, and then get to work the rest of the season and work hard. And anything can happen at nationals, as we very well know. And we'll just go out there, and who's ever in the meet, do the best that we can.
And talk about that for a little bit. Well, why is it different this year that there are no qualifying times?
I'm not sure what the subcommittee it's called. Part of the problem has been there's no consistency between events. Some events get 15 people, some get 18 people. Certainly the vertical jumps, there's a lot of ties, and it's a lot of pressure on the rules committee to figure out the total number in the meet and who they take. So I think this was an easy way for them to say, look, we're just going to go down and take 13 and that's it. So it's something new that all the coaches have to get used to this year.
Well, the athletes have to get used to it too. Dan, does that make it more difficult on the track? You guys really don't know exactly what times you need to get, or does it push you more?
I think it pushes us more, because no one's really safe until the last meet is over, with the last chance meet. And I think that keeps everybody honest, and instead of people trying to go for those times on bank tracks or oversized tracks early in the season and just sitting on their times, everyone has to keep in the hunt and keep going after it every week. And I actually like it a lot more.
And it seems like week after week, people are going to be going after you guys. You guys are the defending national champions. But did you feel any pressure coming into the season, knowing that you guys were that top spot and the one that everybody wanted to take down?
Not really, just because I know outdoor nationals, I'm pretty sure we got 4th, and then indoor nationals with the 4x4, we got DQ'd. And I just kind of feel like, personally, I have some, unfinished business on the track. I really want to try to get that first spot national champion with the 4x4. So I really didn't feel any pressure, just because the coaches do a good job with keeping us true, saying that, yeah, we have won the national championship, back to back, but at the same time, like Coach has been saying, anything can happen at a national meet. So I think it's been more, less pressure, but more motivation to try to keep bringing that title home, which is really nice. It drives you to work a little bit harder each season.
Well, the men's track and field team came into the 2012 season as two-time defending national champions, and we caught up with a couple Cardinals to see if they felt any pressure to make it 3 in a row. That's the focus in this week's What's the Word?
There's always pressure once you experience success like we have in the in the past, especially with losing some of the seniors that we did. Some of the underclassmen had to stop up and just make a big impact.
We just basically just, like Grammy says, focus on the process. And I don't know, we usually don't feel like there's a target, I guess, but I mean, maybe there is. But we don't really focus on that. We kind of just focus on working really hard in practice and being consistent.
Every season's new and every season's different, but certainly with the success we've had, I think they're, looking ahead to the conference meet, the championship season, the nationals. But I wouldn't say there's pressure. I think it's an excitement that they have of trying to do better than we did last year.
One of our coaches, he said some great things to us that kept us motivated to keep going, keep working harder. I wouldn't say it was any pressure at all, no.
We wanted to have a total team, not just one main event area, and we're really excited. We have the national championship cross-country team and the distance program and the sprint group and the jump group and the pole vault group and the throws group. We pride ourselves on being a solid track and field team, all event areas, so it's a lot of fun.
Dan, what's it mean when you see those banners hanging up above the Albee Carriers track?
It means a lot to me. It was cool to see them unveil them this year. I don't think we got to see them last year. It's kind of a culmination of all the work that we put together, and I heard that coming into the program that the team had really been working towards something, and now we really have a national program, and I'm really proud to be a part of it.
And you guys, really have risen to national prominence, but you're still hungry. You talked about, you still want to get that national title. But talk about the depth of this team, especially in the running events. Your closest competition in that 4x4 was the Cardinal B team.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that I really take pride in is that our team has a lot of depth. When we get to especially on the conference level, it's nice knowing that we don't need to get first or second. We'll be fine with taking 3rd through 8th place because, you're going to get, if not the same amount or more points by doing that. And
right.
We just have so much depth, I think, with the 400, with our distance crew, especially with our 4x4 teams. We've ran, I think, 4 different teams this season, all running under 324, which is fascinating that we can throw in guys into the mix and still keep our time, fast and true, which is nice. And I think it's just an awesome thing to have, knowing that you have those guys. And I think it takes a lot of pressure off guys like Dan, too. If, he needs to take a break or, needs to rest, we still have guys that can come into the event and meet, and we can score points and, take some of the pressure off some of our top athletes, which is really nice.
Dan, with guys like that, waiting to run behind you, does it make you work harder? I know you said in one of your meets, going into the final lap, the B team was actually beating you guys.
Yeah, they were. That was awesome, actually. That was, I don't know, I kept thinking about that, and I was getting so excited that we have so much depth. It's nice to relax because I've had a lot of pressure
right.
In the past, just having to catch up to people. And it's nice having to catch up to your own team, knowing that you have guys that good and you can throw whoever you want in any spot, and you know that you're going to be successful, and you know that everyone's going to work just as hard as you at practice and in meets too. And they're just as hungry.
Coach, that's got to be a good, tough decision to have, which 4 to put in there.
It is. Sometimes it's agonizing, but, the results are on the track, and guys have to come in and do the amount of work that they need to do and perform, and the rest will get all shook up later. You never know what's going to happen, and we just go week by week, day by day, and ultimately the fastest people are going to be able to run. And now sometimes someone has to double or triple, and it loosens the load a little bit when you have that depth. And it gives someone else a chance to shine, like Dan said.
And Dan, are you guys, looking ahead to that national meet yet, or are you guys just taking it week by week to see, how the team fits together?
I think we're focusing on conference right now, and we're gonna see who fits that spot. We've had a bunch of kids that are running right around the same time, so it's a huge battle. And we're just taking it meet by meet and practice by practice. Everyone's working hard.
Thanks so much for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we have Clark Tusher stopping by to share his expertise on all things North Central athletics. Don't go away.